Hi everyone. Today I want to show you the results of 10 hours of gathering in the mists with my Tier 7 tools. Along the way, we found some nice enchanted resources and also tried gathering some T8. And at one point, I even got killed. While you're watching some clips from the 10-hour grind, let's go over my setup. I brought 4 Tier 8 tools, mixed gathering gear, and for weapons, a bloodletter with a mist caller, mainly to escape if things go wrong. Let's talk about how I got into the mists. I start from the Fort Sterling portal and head out to one of the nearby zones. There, I look for the first mist entrance I can find. Once inside, I mostly gather Tier 6 resources. When the timer gets down to about 4 minutes, I start looking for another entrance. This time, an enchanted one, from uncommon up to legendary. Most of the time, I don't find any, so I just keep gathering T6. But when I do, and manage to get into a higher tier mist, I switch to Tier 7. And sometimes even Tier 8, though gathering those takes much longer. I noticed that the higher the tier of mists we reached, the more players tried to kill us. Things were getting really dangerous. And speaking of dangerous, I actually died once. I made a lot of mistakes, and you can see exactly what happened. Let me know in the comments what you think I did wrong. At the end of this video, I'll share what I noticed and how I could have done better. I'm pretty sure this death could have been avoided. Let me know in the comments what you noticed. At the end of the video, I'll share what I think I could have done better. Back to our gathering. I have to admit, gathering in the mists is really enjoyable. Unfortunately, there usually aren't as many enchanted resources here as on Avalonian roads, but we still managed to find a few really good nodes. On top of that, we also came across a few treasure chests which added some extra silver to our pockets. We even got a bit lucky and found a couple of baby animals. They'll definitely boost our overall profit. I really enjoyed gathering in the mists. I'm thinking about making it into a longer series, maybe gathering until we make enough silver for premium, but this time with Tier 8 tools. Let me know what you think. Let's move on to the profits and losses. On the screen, you can see everything we managed to gather. So, let's summarize everything in 2 ways. First without, and then including, our unfortunate death. Let's assume for a moment that the death never happened. We gathered a total of 9,210,000 silver in 9 hours, which means that in 1 more hour, we could have made around 1,023,000 silver. That would bring our total to 10,233,000 silver. Unfortunately, the reality looks a bit different. Including our death, we made 9,210,000 silver. Now let's talk about expenses. Without including the death, our total expenses were 289,000 silver. However, once we add the cost of dying, our expenses increase by about 1.5 million, bringing the total to 1,789,000 silver. To sum it up, without the death, we would have made 9,944,000 silver, which means about 994,000 silver per hour. But when we include the death, our actual profit drops to 7,421,000 silver, or around 742,000 silver per hour. The conclusion is simple: don't die.
Wow. Wow!
Going back to my stupid death, I noticed 2 main mistakes I made. The first one was underestimating my opponent and not realizing that he was trying to use the mobs to get dismounted. I failed to notice it and assumed I'd still have a few seconds to react after he got off his mount. Now it's time for the second mistake I made, and honestly, this one was even dumber. I could have easily avoided that death. All I had to do was use my skill, but for some reason I just didn't, and that's what really cost me my life. Looking at the numbers, if we don't count the death, about 1 million silver per hour isn't too bad. I'm thinking about making a longer series, gathering until we can afford premium, but this time with Tier 8 tools. What do you think? Want to see that? That's it for today. Thanks for all the likes, subs, and comments. See you next time.